Hi, Gemini. Okay, so here's the deal. You know when you see someone at a party and you can tell that they're about 5 seconds from doing something really stupid, but they don't know it, but you know it, and you're watching them and you can see it happening? First card out, the Sun. We love it. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. We'll take it. We're that person. We are 5 minutes from doing something really stupid, but because we don't know it, or maybe because we do know it, we're out there having the time of our lives. Spending money we need to be saving. Watching our step. No, we're dancing instead. Dancing right on top of the fucking banana peel. Excuse my language, it's just... that's what we're doing when we get stressed. We do the most, and usually the most looks like a lot of fun. 8 of Cups in reverse. Okay? You know, if you're with someone, they might be wondering why you're acting the way you're acting. Because Gemini keeps secrets. When we don't feel good, we don't tell anyone. When we feel stressed, we become even more jovial. People start to notice. They wonder if we're there, if we're connected, if we care, if they did something wrong. And we don't know how to tell them that really it's us and that we're having an issue with something that we don't think we can solve. And this is carrying over from the end of Gemini season, which was insane. Yes, it was. We know that. It was crazy for all of us. Very traumatic for most of us. That willingness on the part of others to hurt you, either your feelings or your physical person, doesn't stop. That continues in July. Be careful. Red alert. Red alert. It's time. Be careful with your body. Be careful with your money. Be careful with your reputation. Be careful with who you speak to, what you say, who you let say what to you, what gets in your ear. Be careful, be careful, be careful. We are in a precarious moment, Gemini, and I think we can all feel it. But if we are aware and calm and don't go ham because we know something is wrong, and don't go into rock star mode just because we can sense something bad coming, we'll be all right. We'll be more than all right. The Sun, Wheel of Fortune, we'll be great. 8 of Cups in reverse, yeah, okay. So what? The cups are spilling. Listen, if there's poison in the cups, let them spill. Who cares? Listen, the way I look at it, it's about survival now. It's not about your feelings anymore. The next month or so coming up is an obstacle course, and it would be very easy for Gemini to fall on their face. We need to be careful and we need to be quick. And yes, there is a retrograde, so neither are easy to do. King of Pentacles and the Emperor. If you are dealing with an Earth sign, an Aries, or an extremely proud Scorpio, they have decided to make an appearance. Remember, the retrogrades bring back the past, spilled cups that want to be unspilled. But what's it worth? What's love worth? And when and to whom? Because at one point it was worth a lot to you, but was it as much to the other person? And now, all of a sudden, if that person does see the worth, what does that mean for you? What do you now have to sacrifice to How much does it cost you to meet them on that road now that they seem either ready or compelled by the retrograde to want to talk about it? That's what I'm saying. Be careful with everything. Be careful. Be careful with who you speak to. Be careful who you speak to. Be careful what you say. Be careful who you speak to. Be careful how you spend your money. Be careful about everything. This is why you wanted the reading, because you already know that this is what it is, but you need someone to tell you, because we all have this instinct when things start to go a little bit sideways that we want to go even more sideways. I don't know what it is about us. Nobody gets it. I don't think we even get it about ourselves. It's just how we are. Like, oh, things are getting stressed. Oh, I might run out of money. I'm going to go spend more money. Oh, things are getting stressed. There might be a fight. I'm going to get more aggressive. Oh, things are already seeming very touchy. Let me have more to drink. Like, fuel to the fire, fuel to the fire. And I'm telling you, this month, keep your fuel and stay away from the fire. One, because we're not a party trick. We're not a clown at a party. We're not a mascot. We don't need to be out there equalizing the energy all the time. Let Libra do their job for once. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. The more you stay out of it, the more you keep your head down until Leo season starts, the better off you're going to be. And the better off we collectively will be, because we're sharing this energy with you, right? So let's all just get in line. Be careful who you speak to. You see that Virgo card? The snakiness of it all. And then here we go. Yours and my favorite, the King of Cups. So everybody is here and everybody wants some. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to get together. Everybody wants to hang out. Everybody wants to know. How come people love to hear us talk about them? Just a question. Please feel free to discuss. Do you see this mess, this messy mess of a reading already? All those cups spilled, and then all the people associated with the spilled cups decide to be like, hi, the usual suspects lineup is here. What's up? That's fine. You have to remain on your toes. And why am I telling you that? Because if you just don't spend money, like if you treat yourself like a monk this month, you're good for the rest of the year. You're golden, you're fine. But if you decide that you're going to throw caution to the wind, aka self-sabotage, then it's going to be a problem. Queen of Wands, do you have a fire sign in your life that is in your corner backing you up or needs to back you up? Somehow you need this person in your corner. Mercury shadow, I can already not speak. What the hell? Or is it just that Sagittarius that's also in the list of cups that have been overturned? I think it might be the latter. Wow, wow, wow. Everybody's here. What a party. This is like that uncomfortable space at the after party where like you really want everyone to go home because you don't even know how everyone ended up back at your apartment, but like you're the coolest, so of course, but like now people need to leave and they're still there and now they want to like talk about their feelings. Jeez, Rick. No, you can talk to whoever you want, but I would suggest you talk to nobody. You can spend on whatever you want, but I would suggest you spend next to nothing. You can indulge whatever aspect of the past you feel needs to be addressed or healed again or whatever. I would suggest letting those parts of the past that really... I would suggest letting those aspects of the past that really want to find you come and find you. You should remain in every way in the fountain space. And I know it seems a bit dramatic or a bit extreme to be like, hey, you really need to stay put, but it's the only advice I can think to give you, considering how up and down everything is going to be. Because the Sun and the Wheel of Fortune are the first two cards. There's so much good stuff coming up. There's so much abundance, but there is so much intrigue. There is so much drama. There are so many plot twists. There are so many people coming out of the woodwork. There is so much attraction, but also this predisposition to accidents, to overspending, to people, you know, having it out for you. Be careful. Look over your shoulder. Like, don't talk to just anybody. Don't go out shopping like it's an activity. Like, go out shopping for just what you need. Like, for one, you know, for 1 month, put yourself on that tight schedule in terms of everything, and see how you feel and see what things are worth a month in, right? Maybe you decide that part of that is spending half of what you've been spending and working out for an hour every day. You know, a month from now, you'll be a different person if you do that. And I'm not saying that we need to be different, but you do feel that something needs to change, right? Because there's too many places where too many people can manipulate us because we haven't in those ways matured. And Cancer season is like, listen, you're going to mature. You know, July, at the end of July, Leo season is like, now it's time. You better grow up. And in some ways we need to grow up. And those of us who went through some really harrowing stuff at the end of Gemini season already feel like we have grown up quite some. But whatever work wasn't done, you know, July wants to really get in your face about it, and really wants to show you what you can do very easily to protect yourself. To protect yourself from other people, to protect yourself from self-sabotage, to protect yourself from squandering your money, right? The mother is the closest to us. We are the closest child. The most is expected of us, and we deliver. But there are a few places where we have to admit that we let things slide, and we are our worst enemy. And instead of indulging that and hee-heeing about it, I feel like we have a unique opportunity to become so much better than we have been. If anyone is allowed to take the largest evolutionary step this month, it's us. But it starts with admitting where you do react out of anxiety and do things that you know are in the long run not okay. About pulling back on those instincts, about being very measured when you speak to people from your past, and being very careful about sussing out what their intentions are, and figuring out, you know, where they lie on that scale of friend or foe. We don't know what we think of people yet, because we're changing and we're growing up so much that we may have a completely different perspective on that person when we see them again. And if the retrograde brings them to you again, remember to judge them from where you are now, not where you used to be or how you used to feel. Much to talk about. I need you to look at these cards, because the drama and nonsense going on here, and this is the bottom of the deck. Now all of a sudden everyone wants to get married, everyone wants to be in a relationship, everyone wants to date, everyone wants to remember, everyone, you know, remembers how great you used to be. Mwah! I love you. The drama?
Hi
Hi, Gemini. Welcome to the loudness once again of New York City. I did your reading the night of the eclipse, and since then I've had a raging headache. My headache is finally subsiding, but you may hear me drinking water throughout the reading. It's because it's the only thing that seems to help. Fun fact, everyone else I know that is either a Cancer sun or a Cancer rising has also had a pressure headache for the past couple of days. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that it is astrological in nature. All right, here we are. First up, the Sun and the Wheel of Fortune. As you can tell, both very good cards, both speaking of what is here, what comes in July at the end in Leo season as indicated by the Sun, and also what is to come. Good fortune times a million. However, for those of us who have not let go of any of our toxic attachments, it may feel a bit like the sky is falling down. It may have felt like that for the past month or so. I know personally for myself that in the past month, I was literally physically attacked by a Virgo. I found out that a water sign, specifically a Scorpio, had been fed lots of really, really damning and untrue information about me. I had a reconnection with an Aries who I suspect was also misinformed about what I was doing and what my motivations were. I also realized that a Sagittarius and I, who have been trying very much to communicate over the past few months, were texting different numbers for each other than the ones we thought we could reach each other at. Therefore, facilitating yet another missed opportunity to meet up. And the retrograde has not even started yet, but let's remember that we are in shadow. So, here we are. Now, does that specifically apply to you? No, and I never give you examples of this specifically applies to me, but I thought I'd go ahead and do that because this is really calling out some shit for me. But, getting back to the general, if you have been lingering on whether or not an earth sign in your life is worth the squeeze, they're not. If you've been wondering about an Aries who seems to be 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door, they're going to communicate. If you have been trying to get rid of a Virgo like they're lice or some other parasite and you haven't quite been able to get rid of them, oh, they're not done yet. The fuckery has just begun. If you are somehow involved with a water sign of an overbearing nature that you thought at one time had quite some say in your life or perhaps in the state of your heart, they've got stuff to talk about too. Now, coming lastly to the obvious fiery Sag here. Now, if you're dealing with the Sag, I don't think it's necessarily that they don't want to communicate. I don't think they know how. Yes, that sounds really strange. Sag knows how to communicate better than probably anyone in the zodiac. No, not better than us. Where we are fluid, they can be a bit awkward because Gemini can talk about anything. Sag can talk about ideas. And although ideas are much more respected than anything is what gets the job done. Anything is the common folk. Anything is everyday things, everyday people, everyday occurrences. It's normalized. It's humanized. We're just two people, Gemini. This is not normalized, nor is it humanized. It is idealistic. It is abstract. It is very, very different in its articulation of perhaps the same concepts that we have. But it is not in any way designed or geared to be palatable for public consumption. We, on the other hand, are very much the public and the consumer. Right? Why do I put it that way? Why do I give you a laundry list of what's happened personally? Why did I not read out of the Odyssey? Why will I read out of it next month and we'll start with Medusa? Why? Because the last month before this has been hellish. Because the end of Gemini season was awful. And you know what? I couldn't have helped you if I put your video out early. Look at this. All this is more warnings for the future. Yeah, good stuff is coming, but you know what? Good stuff was coming in Gemini season 2. Yes, it will continue. We know it'll continue. But man, oh man, literally, for us, this is like the death card. Just like Sag feels like they're dying because they're not getting their way, Gemini feels like they're dying because the few cups that they don't tell anybody about, that they perhaps keep to themselves, doesn't matter who filled them or who didn't, they're our cups, we'll keep them, thank you. How come the secret cups got spilled? How can a cup get spilled if I'm not even telling anybody about it? And yet, all the cups have spilled. Honey, all of them. And all the people that spilled them, like, really want to communicate. It's the funniest thing ever. They really want to talk. And you know what they want to talk about? Look at this nonsense. I mean, they really want to talk. They're really like in their feelings now. Now all of a sudden it feels like everybody knows that Gemini is the shit and that we're going to do huge things. And we're kind of like, yeah, we've been telling you forever we're going to do huge things. How are you surprised? Of course, there are other signs that are trying very hard to make it work with us. Leos are trying to make it work. Libras are trying to make it work. Even these people are trying to make it work. It's just, I would like for you to just take a gander at the list. You know, like I called them, the usual suspects lined up here. Just waiting, you know, because as much as the 8 of Cups may be where you're at and you're thinking to yourself, oh God, this reading doesn't apply to me at all. I'm just here. I'm just stuck with, oh my God, what just happened? Oh my God, I can't believe I found that out. Oh my God, I can't believe that person has been doing what? That person didn't say what? No matter how much this hurts, no matter how, you know, just heart-wrenchingly painful this state can be. And what is this state? This is something you gotta leave and you don't even want to leave. Something you let go of and you don't even want to let go of it. It's just the circumstance, the thing, whatever it is that happens just goes boom. And then all of a sudden, there you are. You and your stupid cups. You know? And Gemini is not the type. Like, if there's anybody in this deck of cards that really represents us, it's that person right there. Because if you're going to do the most and these cups are spilling, I'm out. Like... And no, it doesn't matter how long we thought what we did or felt what we did or how long or how much commitment or all these stupid words that people like to use, right? Oh, I love the people that try to use those type of words when they're the ones that messed up. And I'm not even being personal because I don't have anybody in my life that could mess up. I don't have anyone in my life, period, right now. But it's funny to me that people who mess up always use the words of virtue as a prison. You know, you're supposed to be compassionate. You're supposed to be understanding. You're supposed to be, you know, mindful of commitment. You're the one who should be, you know, even though I blank, you should be a better person than me. You should be the bigger person. You should still talk to me. You should still indulge me. You should forgive me. You should forget what happened to and be a complete fool. And we can go back to you being you and me living off of you. And this doesn't have to be your money. It can be your energy. It can be your chi. It can be your life force. You get me? Yeah. Now, what else is indicated here? It is time for us to find ourselves. Absolutely. The Emperor card, absolutely. We can embody that energy. We need to get back to self.
We need to get back to a point where we're not making our decisions based on anyone's, honestly, temporary feelings. The only thing for sure that's rock solid, because we know how quickly people's feelings change, because we can change people's feelings with our words. We know how unsteady that foundation is of people's feelings, right? The only thing that is a strong foundation to stand on is yourself. And it's time to make those commitments to yourself and grow up a little bit. Even if it is centered around self, that's okay. Don't let people shame you because you want to focus more on you. There are a lot of people here who have been focusing on themselves for a very long time. Isn't that right? Now, there's also an indication here of going inward. This is what we were talking about in terms of spending money and talking to too many people. This month, people are looking for you to say the wrong thing. People are gunning for you to say the wrong thing so they could just string you up. And that sounds so horrible, but don't you already feel it? Don't you feel that aggression from people? Like even people you don't even know? You're like, what is up with you? Like, what did I do to you? What's going on? Because people are so nuts during Cancer season. People, that quiet violence of Cancer season, it's scary. And I'm sorry, but we're a bit too lighthearted for all this nonsense. When the party starts to turn grimy and scary, keep it cute. We're out. No, thank you. And keeping it cute means going internal, save your money, save your time, save your breath. Don't let these people have the satisfaction of you looking crazy out here. Literally, if there's anything that you need to guard yourself from this month, it's just that. Don't you look crazy out here and have us all looking bad. Keep to yourself, save your money. Be much more practical, but also care for yourself. Center on yourself. Yeah, I said it. And Leo season is coming up. Everyone is going to be centered on themselves. Let's get a head start. King of Cups. Now, if you're dealing with a water sign, so what I was saying about this is heart-wrenching, right? And it's horrible. Except when we get put into this situation where we let the cup spill and we walk away, do you know how much energy opens up for us? How much creative potential, how much relationship potential, how much wealth potential? Because our slate is clean. Now, as soon as that slate is clean, this is why the usual suspects come back. Ta-da-da. And this one wants to fill those cups back up. Do you want them to? Do you not want them to? Do you trust them? Honestly, it doesn't matter right now. It doesn't matter. You're going to feel really different by the end of July. So just sit tight for a few weeks. Sit tight, and no matter what they say or how they say it, just don't make a decision. The Virgos want a decision. They're pushing. They want to know. This or that, me or them, especially if you have a Gemini moon. Oh my God. The Gemini moons are getting pushed. Like, make a decision. Do that. What do you want? What do you want to do? You got to tell me. Especially from Virgos. And it's like a nightmare for them. Gemini suns are just trying to stay away from Virgos. They're like, no. Like, we get it. Gemini moons, they haven't figured out quite yet what we've already figured out. So they're a little bit behind. Okay, so the King of Cups wants to just fill up the cups. And if you're in a happy, successful relationship with a water sign, let them fill up the cups. Maybe these cups are spilling because of work. Maybe these cups are spilling because of family, right? If this person is offering to fill the cups back up because they're your loving partner, go ahead and let them. If this is someone you cannot trust, that's a different story. This happens in your life. If you can trust these people with everything, wonderful. That's your support system. Go for it. This happens in your life, and these are the people who may somehow be responsible. Don't let them in. But if they are just loving, supportive people, be careful there anyway, right? In terms of the Sag, don't push, because Sages are being very pushy right now. Don't push, don't push. In terms of the Aries, I think you can come to some very good understandings. Money. Money and emotion. Emotions upside down, and the relationship with money. You see it here? This is as much a downward trajectory as that is an upward one. Do not spend out of emotion, insecurity, or fear. And every time you catch yourself spending for those reasons, stop, take the thing back, whatever you gotta do, but discipline yourself like you are the best parent you could ever have. Explain to yourself in your best parent voice what you need to do for the next month. And hey, if it turns out that July is just full of great stuff and loads of money, and then it doesn't even make sense that you were saving your coin in July, great. If August is like the most lit month ever, which I suspect it will be, great. But in the meantime, like I said, we don't want to get caught out here looking stupid. Okay? Let's do the extended now. I love you guys. I'll see you in just a second. I'm sorry it was so late, but actually I don't think it was late. I think it's the perfect timing. But that's just me being a Gemini.